All right, y'all, we are live. We are live. Shout out to everybody in the chat. God bless you all. Shout out to HBBA. Yo, brother, how are you? I'm doing all right, man. I honestly am doing all right. It's been a weird day for me. Had a weird things going on. But overall, blessed. Shout out to Carolina Crypto. What is going on? Shout out to Nem. What is going on, Nem? Shout out to Carolina Crypto. Shout out to J Bull. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Crypto Incognito. He says, let's go. Shout out to Raza. He says, yo, Jason, let's go. Shout out to B Team Crypto. Shout out to Infound T. Shout out to Jessica Ola. Tuning in from work. That's the way to do it, man. Shout out to Ping. Shout out to Max. Shout out to Christian from Finland. What is going on? I'm a big fan of Finland. Shout out to Mono Steph. Shout out to Moonlight. What is going on? Alright. Shout out to Dude. I ain't got time for a lot up or down. You just need a little. Shout out to Piet from Johannesburg. Shout out to Cowboy Crypto. Keep them chickens safe. Vintros is hooked with his long. Shout out to Casper. Shout out to David. Shout out to David. Shout out to Trigger. Guys, your long actually might not be in trouble. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, this is clearly a level of support right here, guys. This is a level of support. Looking for a bounce around this area, to be honest, but I don't really like what I see, to be honest. Doesn't look so bad on the 24-minute here. We'll be taking a look at this Bitcoin price, guys, because as we can see, well, we are indeed losing an important trend line here, and we are falling back down into the old range, right? We have lost a major support resistance flip. We got a little move up today from the trend line, rejected from value area high. I was hoping we would get a little bit higher, I'll be honest with you guys. I was hoping we would get a little bit higher before the big dumperoni e-queso. It really was. But you know, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Bitcoin has lost support, and we are looking now toward lower targets. Shout out to Jay Schlongen, 25,600-ish. Shout out to Nem. Nem, is that really true, my friends? Is that really true? Shout out to Peter from Slavnia. What is going on? Shout out to Josh McWilliams. Shout out to Sudeep holding it down with the wrench. Treadmill Jason, yep, keeping the cardio going strong. Do I think we'll have an FOMC dump? So is there FOMC? Let's see something. ForexFactory.com. Let's go to the calendar. Wednesday, October 11th. So at 2 p.m., guys, there is an FOMC meeting minutes. I don't think this will have... who knows? I don't know. We're going to do some Bitcoin analysis, and then we are going to talk about the dollar, and we're going to talk about the stock market as well. We are going to talk about the stock market as well as the dollar, because I think those things are going to affect us a lot. All right. Shout out to Black Voices TV. You also use the Forex Factory website. That's a good website to use. Yeah, no meeting. It's just, they're just gonna notes, right? Just notes. We're gonna see, are we hawkish? Are we dovish? Hawkish or dovish? Yeah, that's all. Shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. So, look, the truth is, Bitcoin is losing support. All right, we are losing support. This was a very key level, 27,100. We could move it down to 27, right around here. We are now below support. Right now, we are in fact getting a little bit of a bounce from the liquidity grab at 26,663. All right, 26,663. We had a previous low right here. We had lots of liquidity that got snagged up from the market right along this area. All right, we snagged that low. And we're currently getting a little bit of a bounce from this area. Okay, if we're just going based on volume theory, right? It is right now more probable than not that we come down a bit lower here. I'll be honest with you guys. Even if we get a retracement, man, this looks like we are going to come down lower. Money flow curving to the purple. On the 1 hour time frame, yes, we have some divergences, but money flow is getting lower. So it's not looking super, super strong, guys. On the 12-minute time frame, the money flow is getting lower locally here. It's not looking the best. All right, I could see a case here for potentially looking for a bullish move here. Absolutely. Please don't get me wrong, but it's not looking as good as you would want it to look. Let's just put it that way. It's not looking as good as you would want it to look. So we're going to be taking a look at the key levels and what I'm looking at next. All right. Now, let's take a look here at my overall idea for the Bitcoin price. All right. So going all the way back, like literally to October 3rd. Let's see if I can find October 3rd. October 6th. October 3rd. Here we go. This right here was my overall trading plan for Bitcoin. All right, let's go ahead and open this up in our browser here. We were basically looking for Bitcoin to get a move down to around 27-ish. This green line right here. Then get a move up, short it down, and then get a bounce, right? That's basically what we've been looking at for quite some time. And so far, the trading plan has worked out pretty much exactly as we were kind of thinking, right? We were looking for a move down to here, a move up to here where we take the short, and now we're looking for lower prices. All right, we're looking for lower prices. Let me see something real quick here. All right, I'm sorry, I showed you the wrong picture. Let me show you the right picture. Let me show you the right picture here. Here we go. We're looking for a move down to around 27,000, a move up to around 28,200, and then a bigger drop down to around 26 something or other. All right, a move down to 26 something or other. Now, hang on. My USB just died here. So I gotta move the laptop, all right? I gotta move the laptop because I'm streaming on a laptop, guys. So that's pretty much the trading plan that we are following right now. I am short from that level, and the next major zone of support that we now need to be aware of, in my opinion, is going to be a tad bit lower. So if we go ahead and pull our fib from the low to the high, we can see that the next major zone of support is going to be around 26.3K, down to this high volume node at around 26K. But here's the reality of the situation. we are always looking for the market to wreck as many people as possible, right? And if we don't get a bounce here, again, the reason why we got a bounce right here, the reason why we're currently finding support right here at 26,666 is because we had, once again, lots of traders who were putting their stop losses underneath these lows, right? The market is always going to go toward the liquidity. It's going to wreck as many people as possible. So we had to wreck these people, then we wrecked these people, and then we wrecked all of these people coming down to grab the liquidity from this low. And you can see this is pretty much where the liquidity stops, right? There's no more awkward candles anymore, which is why we're getting a bounce right here. But here's the thing. If we don't get a bounce from this level, we have all of this now to go back and get. We have all of this to go back and get. These lows look very ugly. In fact, if we go right now to a TPO chart, and we zoom out here, these lows, let's zoom back in. These lows, none of them have a buying tail on the TPO chart. All right, what does that mean? What does that mean? It means these are weak lows. They're poor lows. We did not see a lot of people stepping in to buy Bitcoin at this price. We just kind of floated through here, right? What you would want to see for a low to be considered a strong low is you would want to see something called a buying tail, all right? A buying tail looks like this on the TPO chart, right? Where you have this area that's shaded blue. It shows that people were willing to step in and buy right away. They were defending that level. We didn't see good defense of these levels. And when that happens, it means it becomes probable that we get a move back down to here, right? So if we lose this level right here, then I would expect us to come back down toward the low of this range, all right? So overall, we are looking toward this zone right here, okay? This is where the next target of my short trade is going to be, all right? And this is in keeping with the trading plan that I've had since October 3rd, which we have successfully traded in the Casper crew, taking the long from 2,700, taking the short from up here around 28,100. Obviously, we took a few shorts from this area, if you've been following the channel, and now looking for lower prices around this box where we have multiple levels that we are actively looking for. Now, along the way, there are some juicy areas of support that we could look for, but overall, just based on the most simplified technical analysis, if I were to look at this chart on any time frame, if this was the 1 minute time frame, I would tell myself, all right, we made a low, we made a higher high. Now I would be looking for a higher low to come in somewhere toward the low of the range, and I would want to see confluence with the Fibonacci levels. And what do you know, guys? The Fibonacci 786 lines up perfectly with the low of the range, right? Lines up perfectly with the low of the range. And so I'm not saying we're going to go down there. I'm saying especially if we close the daily candle today below this green trend line, the probabilities are that we will eventually make our way back down another 3 to 4%. All right, another 3 to 4%. Now, there's other levels we could take a look at. We could pull our fib from here to here, right? And we actually do have the 786 just below us as well, so we could be aware of that. But really, guys, this green box down here, this is where we really need to be looking out for. Now, I want to go to a lower term time frame here. Let's zoom in on the 3 minute, because we have kind of bottomed out at this key level, right? This is a CDW, right? A chicken's drinking water. We got a liquidity grab of those lows. We've confirmed some candles above, right? Let's kind of see what's happening here. Okay, we've confirmed some candles above. Let's see, guys, because if we start to form somewhat of a range here, right? If we start to form somewhat of a range like this, we might be able to find some kind of a bottom here. For me, I'd rather kind of wait it out. And here's why I'm waiting it out, and here's why I haven't longed yet. I'm still in longs from lower and I'm looking to add to these longs. I'm looking to compound the longs. So I need to be very careful about where I decide to do that, right? I need some kind of better confirmation to get me to add to one of these longs. And I have not opened up a fresh long. I would have if we hit one of my exact levels, which we did not. So I am right now kind of waiting it out, seeing what is going to happen, understanding that we are coming down to an area of support, right? But also understanding that on the higher time frames, my trading plan that I've had all month right now is actually expecting lower, right? So I am biased toward more downside right now, okay? Let's load up Coinalyze.net here. Let's load up Coinalyze.net. And let's take a look at what is happening here in the real time, guys. Now, I did actually long Bitcoin this morning. That hit a TP1 and got stopped out at the entry. Where was that long from? It was from right here at 27.33. It was a 786. We had a bullish CVD divergence. I took the long, hit a take profit one, was stopped out at the entry. All right, so here we are right now. This is our current range that we are forming. Now, whenever Bitcoin or any asset you're trading gets a crazy move like this, we should be encouraged, not discouraged. A lot of people get discouraged. They say, I missed the move. We should never approach it like that. We should be encouraged and say, we're dumping. We're about to now start forming some kind of new range where we can now look for a new trade opportunity, right? So this should be exciting for us. Now, we don't know if we've bottomed out yet, but what we need to do whenever Bitcoin gets a crazy move is we need to mark out the bottom like this, right? And we also need to mark out a potential high, which I would say we have one right here. And so for me, actually, not right there. Let's put it right here for now. And also I will mark out this level. What we're doing right now is we're looking for key zones where potentially we can look for a range to form, right? If we do something like this, well, now we have ourselves a range which we can pull the volume on, we can pull fib levels on, and we can now look for trade entries within this range, okay? So if I was looking for a long around here, an ideal setup, there's two ideal setups I would want to see. Ideal setup number one is we just form some kind of range here, right? For a while. We range here for a while, building up liquidity underneath these lows, right? Because you would imagine right now there's a lot of people who are longing and they're saying, you know what, this looks like a good bounce. I'm gonna long and put my stop loss under the low, right? So we might range here for a while, come down to the low. People might take a long, put their stop underneath, come back down. People take a long, put their stop underneath, come back down. People take a long, put their stop underneath. What this is doing is building up liquidity in the market, where if we come down here, there will be liquidity injected back into the market, because when you're in a position, you're locking up your money in the market. When you get stopped out, that money is released back into the market, right? That's why a lot of times you see stop hunts where price dips down to stop people out, and then it just goes in the opposite direction, right? So we could be looking for something like that to happen here, right? We need some time for some kind of a range to form. The second thing that I would be looking for here is actually more so of a change in market structure, right? Because we do have some bullish divergences at these lows, right? We do absolutely have some bullish divergences at the lows. So something else we could look for right now is a change in market structure, where we see price make a higher high, and then we can come back to look for a long on a higher low, right? Something like this. So there's a few opportunities we have, but right now we don't really have enough data to actually say, all right, let's enter a trade right now, right? Unless you're already long, based on the premise that we came down and we got a swing failure, chickens drinking water of the lows, right? What is a chickens drinking water? A chickens drinking water is basically when you have a level of liquidity right here, right? and price dips below and then comes back up real quick. Technically right now, we are not necessarily getting that right now, honestly, because we're under the level. But it's not too late, actually. Oof, I really don't like the 6-minute money flow. I really don't like it. Okay, but this is the range now that we have to work with. All right, guys, this is the range that we now have to work with. Overall, I would say this: based on market cipher, the 4-hour time frame to me looks bearish. The 1-hour time frame to me does not look too bullish. The 24-minute time frame, I don't like the shape of this momentum wave. Technically, we have bullish divergences here. I just don't really like the local look of the 24-minute time frame, right? So that's why I'm being cautious here. This is the kind of trade I would typically enter aggressively. I honestly would have taken a long here. I was waiting for a little bit lower. We had a naked monthly point of control literally just below here. I was looking for a bounce from this level. Here's something I've noticed, guys. All right. When you have a level like this level right here, 26,550, this is actually a naked point of control. Ooh, looks like we might have hit it, actually. That's so interesting. Let's go down to lower tick size here. Huh. That's so interesting. Looks like we already hit that. Maybe we hit it. Maybe I had the wrong tick size for that. Yeah. Looks like I made a little mistake here, guys. Looks like we actually did tap that level. I just didn't have it quite marked out. Okay. That's interesting. Well, I've noticed that when we have a key level like we do right here, but we front run it slightly, it typically means we're going to lose it on the second go. So let's watch this chart, because we also want to keep a look at what is happening on the order book, right? We want to see what's happening on the order book. We're going to set some alerts here. We're going to set an alert at this wick in case we take that low again. And I'm going to set an alert at this high, because this was the first high we put in after the initial bounce. Alright, those are the only two levels I really care about right now. We are printing some bullish divs actually on the 1 minute right now. So look, this area might hold. I'm not saying it's not going to, so if you longed it, don't let me dissuade you, seriously. I would just like to see a bit more confirmation this entire way down. Decrease of open interest. A double bottom right here on ByBit. Did we actually grab that low? No, that's a double bottom. Okay, yeah, I would want to come down lower, guys. Right, I would want to come down lower. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got about 900 people in here. Let's see if we can't get 900 likes up in here, guys. Let's see if we can't get 900 likes up in here. Do I allow people who visit the studio to walk on the treadmill? Yeah, absolutely. I've got another treadmill on the other side of the office. Shout out to Jesse, he's losing his ass. I'm sorry, man. Shout out to The Range. Shout out to Troy. Jason, do you ever look at stablecoin versus spot CBD? No, I don't really. Alright, there's a 1 minute W pattern forming. Alright, let's keep a close look here, guys. We are going to keep a close look. I don't see the W pattern. On ByBit, we got a wick down. Let's check out, actually, what did we do on MEXC? Yeah, so also on MEXC. Shout out to MEXC, by the way. MEXC, we didn't take that low either. Okay. Yeah, so we also didn't take the low on MEXC. So yeah, what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm watching this price action develop. We understand we're at an area of support. We're looking for a long trade here. We want to say, do we see some kind of trigger that would get us long, right? Some kind of trigger that would get us long. For me right now, I don't see that trigger. And again, the reason why I haven't taken a long here is because I was waiting for a little bit lower. We front ran me by a little tiny bit. And I'm looking to compound some of the long trades that I'm already in, right? So right now I'm in a nice long trade here where I'm in a short from the top of the sideways range, right? And I'm in a long from the bottom of the sideways range. I am still leaning a little bit bullish here, guys. I still have my sights set on 30K. I still think, based on this market structure here, that we could do something like this and hit 30K, giving us our head and shoulders, right? And so I'm looking to add to my long trade because I still have somewhat of a bullish bias for the rest of October, coming up toward this area to give us the very large head and shoulders, right? The shoulder, the head, the shoulder, and then we can look for a lower low. But at the same time, guys, I've been saying as well, this high so far could be it. This could be it, right? Just based on the fact that we took the highs from the local range and then we got a harsh rejection and a back test right into the Fibonacci golden pocket for the move down. So look, I'm hedging myself. I'm holding in tension a bullish and a bearish scenario at the same time. I truly believe that doing that keeps us level-headed and allows us basically to look at these charts without some kind of bias, right? I understand the bullish case scenario. I understand the bearish case scenario. I'm not going to act unless I see something on the chart that makes me say, this is an opportunity here to enter into a trade, right? I'm not seeing that yet. Decrease of OI. I want to take a look at the stock market. I want to take a look at the stack market. All right, let's take a look at the stack market. Guys, I'm still long, by the way, on the S&P 500. I have not closed out. Besides the profits that I took yesterday on live, I have not closed out of the S&P 500. So let's take a look here at the ES. Let me make my ugly self smaller here. All right, so S&P 500, guys, as we know, we have come down into a key area of support, right? Which basically is the fake out of the head and shoulders, right? The fake out of the head and shoulders. This is the long idea basically from the Casper crew, right? We were looking for basically a move down to around that area, 24, 250-ish, right? Because we said, look, we're forming somewhat of a head and shoulders pattern here, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be shorting the breakdown of the head and shoulders. And everybody, when I did this, I got a lot of hate. People were like, Jason, that's not a head and shoulders, you stupid idiot. All right, whatever. I don't know what a head and shoulders is then, okay? But the bottom line is this. We clearly had an area of support here that if broken, we know a lot of people are going to get bearish, saying we're losing support, let's short, let's bet the farm and short, right? But we also knew that we had a zone of support just below, and we knew a lot of people were going to be shorting into the support, which is why we were going to be looking for bullish divergences on the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, and the 1-hour time frame as we were losing the support. Well, what do you know? We come down to the zone of support, bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Go to the 4-hour time frame, bullish divergence. This entire move down, forming bullish divergence. Look at that, beautiful, right? And on the 1-hour time frame, as we come and make that low, bullish divergence, right? And so that's why we've gotten the move to the upside here. Now, where are we coming to right now? We are coming to the high volume node of the range, okay? And this is going to be resistance number 1. So I did hit a take profit here yesterday on stream. You guys saw me hit that TP.